So in today's gospel, we hear this wonderful story of encounter, of meeting with Jesus, and this story of transformation, of redemption, of being saved. Zacchaeus, as we hear in today's gospel, was a tax collector, a wealthy man, a short man, and a scoundrel, a cheat, one who extorted, who took excess money from everyone, from the poor. And so he's relatable, not that we're scoundrels or cheats, but we too, like Zacchaeus, are sinners in need of a Savior, in need of Jesus, in need of his cross and redemption and mercy and grace. And so we can read and hear with great anticipation of how far and wide and merciful Jesus' reach is. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save what was lost. We first notice that Jesus sees Zacchaeus, and he sees you. You know, when we read this, we recognize that Jesus not only recognizes or sees Zacchaeus in the tree, but he knows him. He knows everything about him. There's no secrets that Zacchaeus has that Jesus doesn't know. There's no secrets in our life that Jesus doesn't know. And he calls him by name. He calls you by name. You might not remember, of course, your own baptism, although for some maybe. But likely you've been to at least one or two. And the first thing that was ever said about you at your baptism was your name was spoken. Because you are not a stranger or a random person, but you are known and loved and desired by name. You are called, like Zacchaeus, by name. And Zacchaeus hears, he acknowledges this call and comes down. And his response to Jesus reaching out to him is one of radical generosity. First, he promises restitution. He will make amends for all of his scoundrelness, for all of his cheating. But even more, in a wildly generous way, behold, half of my possessions, Lord, I shall give to the poor. The restitution makes sense. The generosity is superabundant. And why does he do this? Why are we called to a kind of superabundance? Because Jesus superabundantly loves him and loves us first. Because we receive his mercy and forgiveness on the cross, though we put him there. And he doesn't scold or lecture or reject or ignore or cast you out, but he loves you. And so our response is a transformation, a conversion, but a transformation of mind and heart to be more and more and more like Jesus's, which is superabundant, which is recklessly generous, whether or not repayment can be made. And so we thank God that he shows us, he gives us this wonderful example in today's gospel, in the way in which he heals and he transforms and he forgives Zacchaeus, so that we can know there is always hope, yesterday, today, and forever, for each one of us, for you, and for me, and for everyone in the world.